So you want to get a leopard tortoise. They're fun, they're cute, and live a very long time. But how much does it really cost? Let's break it down. If you're new to the channel, this is my leopard tortoise, Frankie. I've had her for 5 years now. When I got her, she was the size of my palm, and now she's huge. First, let's go over the initial cost. I am going to base these prices based on a tortoise that is smaller than your hand. I feel like most people buy tortoises that are small so that they can grow with them, if you will. And those can run anywhere from like $300 to $500. That's what I've seen roughly at like reptile shows, my local reptile store. The reason why I'm doing it that way is because number one, adult tortoises are $700 plus, and the enclosure, whether you build it or you buy it, is going to be a lot more expensive. And like I said, most people buy tortoises that are smaller than their hand because they're cute. I mean, come on. An average tortoise table or tortoise enclosure, or even if you do glass and just cover it because you don't want to have your tortoise stressed out by the glass, and I'm not going to get into that, but yeah, 250 bucks. You will need a UVB fixture. You want it to be a tube lighting, not a coil. So for a 36-inch fixture, we're looking at $83 roughly. For the bulb, we're looking at $27 for the UVB. You will also need a basking lamp to provide a basking area for your tortoise. The fixture for that is around $31 and the bulb is around $50. I do have my notebook because I don't want to forget anything. So sorry if I keep on looking over at it. You will also need a thermostat, and that will be $26. A thermostat just helps the basking spot stay at the correct temperature. If you live in a place where you can have an outdoor enclosure, you don't have to worry about the lighting for the months that you can have your enclosure outdoor. For example, I am in Sacramento. Frankie is outdoors from May to about September. I'm going to add $20 for the substrate, but if you do a mix of 50-50 play sand and topsoil, it will be probably less than like $12 for a bag of each of those. For enrichment and dishes, I'm going to do 50 bucks. I think with that you could get the hides, a few plants, and the water dish that you need, and food dish. So the total initial startup cost we're looking at is $837. This does include the enclosure, lighting, tortoise, and everything I just mentioned. Next, let's go over the ongoing cost of keeping a leopard tortoise. As of right now, I am spending $25, well, roughly $25 per week to buy greens for Frankie. When he was smaller, I was only feeding him about a handful of greens every day. The cost was a lot less expensive. I couldn't tell you how much it was at that time, but I do want to include the cost of feeding him now, because all of leopard tortoises are going to grow and become adults. All the babies are going to grow and become adults, and you need to know how much, and it happens quick. I mean, he's only 5. So, we have to keep in mind long term how much it's going to cost to feed our leopard tortoise. $25 a week roughly. There is free ways to feed your leopard tortoise. They mainly eat grass and weeds. So as you saw, Frankie's enclosure, she has a lot of grass and she grazes all day long. I also bought a hibiscus plant for $20 at Home Depot, and now I have free hibiscus to feed her every single summer. And I also, at my old house when I moved in, there was already nopales there. Nopales are cactus pads, and I brought some of those nopales to this house, and now I have free nopales that I feed Frankie every single summer as well. So, yeah, definitely take advantage of, you know, fields or neighbors or family who has some good grass, some weeds, and they don't put chemicals on it. So keep the free resources in mind. Another thing to keep in mind about feeding is calcium. It is about $6 per bottle. I don't know how long it would last you if you're just caring for your leopard tortoise. If I had to guess, it's probably like 1 to 2 months. I have lots of reptiles that I use calcium for, so mine doesn't last quite that long, but yeah, it is $6 per bottle. Next, let's talk about annual and hidden cost. Let me put Frankie down. She's ready to get down. She was chilling for a minute. I was shocked that she was actually just chilling because usually she wants to get down, but now she's ready. Let's see where she goes. So, like I was saying, annual and hidden cost, you're going to have to pay for electricity to keep those bulbs going 12 hours in it, 12 hours a day, and a heat bulb at night if necessary. And I just Googled this. According to Google, it's anywhere from $7 to $17 per month for the electricity for a leopard tortoise. Some hidden costs that sometimes people don't consider are vet bills. Sometimes our tortoises get sick. Sometimes we think something might be wrong with them. Sometimes there's accidents that happened and we need to take our tortoises into the vet. My local average for a vet visit is $100 if there is an emergency and you have to go to the emergency hospital, pet hospital. That can get pretty expensive. I think just the visit itself is usually I've paid like 100 to 200. I mean, 150 to $200 just for like the consultation, and then usually I feel like anytime that I go to a pet hospital, it's I'm looking at about $1,000. I already know like in my head like it's gonna be 1K. Like that's just the number that I have because it usually is like around that. Once you have your initial cost and you bought the bulbs and you bought the substrate and all that, those do have to get replaced. It's not a one time cost. The bulb, depending on the brand that you buy, you will have to replace that every 6 to 12 months. And the substrate you want to change about every 2 to 3 months. Obviously, if it gets super dirty, you will change it before that. As your tortoise grows, you will have to upgrade their enclosure. I can't say off the top of my head how many enclosures Frankie has been through. I've upgraded her several times. She's had winter enclosures. She's been indoors. She's been outdoors. We've moved houses. We've built so many enclosures. Shout out to my husband for building enclosures for her. But this is something you do want to keep in mind that that's a very hidden ongoing cost. People see a cute little tortoise, leopard tortoise, whatever the species might be, and they are not thinking about one day this little cute little tortoise is going to need at least a 10 by 10 enclosure. And do I even have space for that or the money? So yeah, very important to keep these things in mind. Last but not least, long term considerations. Leopard tortoises live for a very long time. Anywhere from 50 to 100 years is average. They grow anywhere from 18 to 24 inches. So you're going to need a lot of space. I want to emphasize that. It's a long term commitment. I tease my kids about this all the time, but they know that I'm so serious that one day they will have to take over Frankie's care. And they are aware and they said that they're going to do it. I don't know if it's willingly or if I just drilled it into their head, but that's what's going to happen. So, is a leopard tortoise worth it? If you love reptiles, have the space, and are in it for the long haul, yes, they are absolutely worth it. I hope this video was helpful in giving you an idea of how much a leopard tortoise costs and helps you prepare if you do decide to move forward with getting a leopard tortoise. I do want to mention that this video is talking about the cost only. It is not about husbandry, care, lighting, temperature, none of that. So please, if you do decide to get a leopard tortoise or any tortoise, do research. Make sure you have the correct lighting. Make sure the basking spot is correct, the humidity is correct, that the diet is correct, because these are living little beings that are relying on us to give them the care that they deserve, and we are deciding to bring them into our home and caring for them. So let's make sure we give them the best care, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.